Listen closely. The following video may contain content not suitable for younger audiences, and as such, we strongly advise that children refrain from watching. Examples of such content may include, but are most definitely not limited to, suggestive themes, foul language, and violence. So send the children away and enjoy the show.
Your favorite Canadian that everybody should know, Della Hayes.
Behold, Diamantis, the greatest YouTuber of all time. If you don't agree with me, bite me!
Yo and hello, good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever the fuck it is, wherever the fuck you are, whoever the fuck you are, and welcome back to the Della Hayes channel. Today we're going to try something a little different and a little fun, and now that we've got things going perfectly unprofessional, yes, I fucked up already, and we're doing this again because I'm the idiot and that's to be expected. With me, I have my very patient, very loyal friend, Terry Diamantis. Say hello, buddy.
Hey, everyone.
And we just got almost done recording a video before I realized I forgot to add his audio. And I figured since this is going to be the first of this series for the year, what better way to start it is after restarting in the few seconds since I did that and we got to this point. I decided, what better way to start it off by explaining such a fucking idiotic move to improve to continue the channel's legacy.
Well, you have a reputation to uphold, and technical difficulties is your thing. So I would have been insulted if there hadn't been any.
If there's one thing I am consistent on, it is my brand.
Good to know.
And now that that's out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be playing a game of Choose. For those of you who do know, and for those of you, the majority, who probably don't know, it's hard to tell these days. Choose is a very subtle game. It's a scenario game where someone brings up two random scenarios and people must choose from them. Usually involving explaining of the scenarios. In this scenario, it's a website that brings us this conveniently, and we get to choose the scenarios, but also we get to see what other people choose and compare who got the best choice based on audience votes. It goes by many words. They're supposed to come out right, but they're not. It goes by many games. Choose does either or. Would you rather? It depends. I prefer Choose. That's how I first heard of it, and I like it. It's simple, short, and to the point, easy to remember. So now we got all that boring stuff out of the way. Let's get down to business.
Alrighty.
First question, Terry. Ooh, I, I think I know what you're gonna pick, and I think I know how you're gonna describe it. But would you rather have 20 million YouTube subscribers or produce a blockbuster action movie?
Okay, so if anyone has seen me on any other YouTube channel, you know that if I had 20 million YouTube subscribers, my channel would be demonetized in a heartbeat. So I might have a lot of subscribers, but I have no money. So I'm going to go with the blockbuster action movie because even if it's shit, I'm still going to make money off it.
All right, all right. I was right about what you choose, a little off about how you get there. But see, I'm gonna go with you'd think I'd go with have 20 million YouTube subscribers, being a YouTube channel and all, but this is, as I've mentioned many times before and want to stay true to, this is all about having fun, and I don't care how many people watch or don't watch. I'd rather produce a blockbuster action movie just because that sounds like a bit more of a challenge.
Fair enough.
And when it comes to making content and challenges, it usually ends up being more fun than any other challenge I get thrown my way in life. So I'd be down to give that a try.
So what you're saying is you like being mentally challenged.
Yes. I wear the helmet. I get the challenge. I get a gold star. Speaking of stars, let's move on. So we picked this one. And, wow, 54% of people are YouTube whores. Imagine my shock. To be fair, as I have mentioned to Terry, I did steal this idea for content from other YouTubers, so seeing them seeing that answer is not at all surprising, nor
the other thing to consider would be that there's other platforms besides YouTube. So if in 5 years, say, BitChute really takes off, then you and your 20 million YouTube subscribers, I mean, you might get some to move with you to the new platform, but every move you're going to have trouble with retention. So, I think a one-off blockbuster action movie is going to make you money right here, right now, and even if no one remembers it in 5 years, you still made that money. Whereas the YouTube thing could fall apart if other platforms become more prominent.
true enough. It would also give me something else to add to my IMDb page.
There you go. Very true.
And speaking of other platforms, now seems like an appropriate time to throw a shameful plug in there. If you're so inclined and you like what you see here, I do the occasional live stream on my channel as well as on Twitch and DLive. Links can be found in the description, as well as a link to my Twitter if you want to follow. Same with Terry's Twitter if you want to follow. He's a great guy, and he posts some pretty funny shit from every day actually. So be sure to check him out. He's an awesome guy, and he watches some great content which he links to. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, good sir. Thank you. And now that that's out of the way, let's get to the next question. Oh, here's a fun one. I know exactly what you're gonna. Actually, no, I'm gonna be torn on this one. So, and I think you might have a bit of a difficulty, but not much. So, would you rather live in a homeless shelter with internet access, or would you rather live in an amazing home isolated from any outside contact?
Okay, so this is a really, really tough one.
Right?
Because not only do I really, really like internet access, I really, really like privacy and being alone.
Samesies.
Is not a possibility in a homeless shelter. You can't exactly say, can everyone clear out? This is my room. That tends not to be a thing in homeless shelters.
Spent much time in there? Sorry, I had to.
I think I'm going to argue technicalities. It is not an amazing home unless it has internet access.
Fair enough. Uh, I'm gonna agree with you on this one, and if I'm not mistaken, you are saying you'd rather live in the homeless shelter with internet access.
Uh, I think I'd have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one because as much as I like the idea of isolated from any outside contact, I also hate the idea of cooking my own meals every time I'm hungry. So
Yeah.
I that would mean giving up ordering out. So yeah, no, I'm gonna have to pick
Yeah.
the homeless one.
Especially, I get all my food delivered, which would no longer be possible if it was isolated from all outside contact. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'd have
which
to go
is
the
which is
homeless
what it
shelter.
initially made me think that outside contact might be a bit difficult for you. Not too,
Yeah.
but just a tad. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I need to go the homeless shelter, unfortunately.
But hey, bright side, no rent, no mortgage, no anything.
Mm, all true.
Oh, and we're just in the minority there by 2%. So it's 51%. 51% of people. Words are not my forte today, apparently.
Well,
Disagreeing with us.
51% of people just didn't think it through.
Either that or 51% of people are more like sanguine.
Possibly, yeah.
Hmm. In which case, I hope they're making YouTube videos and shilling themselves out more like sanguine should be.
Yes, very much so.
All right.
Everyone should chill.
Yes, yes. Ooh. All right. So, Terry, say you were blind. Would you prefer to be able to hear perfectly with perfect precision or be able to see using a very painful corrective eye drop that needs to be applied every hour?
I'll go with the hearing because not only do I not like pain, I don't like inconvenience, and having to do that every single fucking hour, not going to happen. So I'll take the hearing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not the biggest. I'm not gonna say I'm a big fan of pain. Like if I can avoid it, I would much rather. But I can handle a little pain. However, you're absolutely right about the inconveniencing. Doing that every fucking hour is just batshit nuts. And what happens when you go to sleep? You wake up and so what? It's in the same spot of the same nightstand, right next to your bed, right next to your head every fucking morning. You're still gonna spend a good fucking 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes trying to fucking feel around for that thing in the morning, aren't you?
Well, plus on top of that, if you're using the drops, you're not going to develop the skills that a completely blind person would have because someone like blind press would probably be able to find that eye drop bottle quite quickly. But if you're actually able to see most like and then just wake up blind because you haven't used your drops for 8 hours, you're not going to develop those same skills. So you are going to have to fumble around and try and find it with absolutely no vision. And I think that alone would take it out of the running. I'm going to have to go with the hearing, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the hearing too. I mean, my hearing is well, my hearing would probably be below average if I was 20/20 in my vision. So with it not being that, it's about average. So I'm gonna have to go with that because yeah, being able to hear perfectly, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, no one can sneak up on you and startle you anymore, and it'd be a lot more fun if I were to do live streams for jump scare games too, right? So, yeah, I think that's a win.
and most people agree.
Most people are smart this time. Uh, next one. Oh, what? This one's too easy. So, Terry, would you rather be able to never leave your native country or never be able to drive?
Well, I'm kind of living by both anyway, but I'd rather never be able to drive because taxis exist. If I want to go somewhere that I can't walk to, I would just take a taxi, which is what I do now. Whereas I may someday want to go to another country to like visit people or whatever. But yeah, I'd rather never be able to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little torn because I've never needed to drive. I've never even got my learner's permit, let alone my driver's license. Uh, there's always been an alternate way for me to get from point A to point B by someone else driving.
Hmm.
But I do have this small. I do have that dream car of mine that I would love to have one day and drive. However, giving that up would be a small price to pay to be able to go visit some awesome people like yourself, Peter, fucking Quiz, Adam, shit like that.
Yeah,
Fuck. I would give that up in a heartbeat. So yeah, I would have to give up driving in order to leave the country. Not a competition.
yeah, yeah. Easy decision for me too.
Eat is a decision for 58% of people, and 42% of people are pathetic.
Yeah, 58% of people need to change their opinion.
Right? Ooh. All right, here's an interesting one. Choose sneeze every 3 minutes, or always have the sensation to sneeze, yet never do.
God, they both sound terrible. um, if I'm assuming that you would eventually get used to that sensation, like it'd always be annoying, but it'd be terrible at the beginning, but you'd gradually get used to it. Whereas sneezing every 3 minutes is going to put a lot of strain on like your lungs and your diaphragm and actually cause damage to your body, I would think.
Well, not only that, it
Like you're not
makes working inconvenient too. Like imagine if you work in a restaurant or a fast food
yeah,
joint or something like that. Like you're a teenager in your first job, sneezing every 3 minutes. Fuck, that's dangerous. You got to turn every 2 minutes 55 seconds to avoid the food and
yeah.
cover your mouth while you sneeze.
Or working in a call center, you'd never be able to do that because you'd be interrupting the call every 3 minutes to sneeze.
Yeah, or
Um,
fucking telemarketer. Hi, thank you for. This is an automated voice message from Telus. Blah blah blah. We hold on. Achoo! We appreciate your service and we would like to offer you. Hold on. Achoo! A new promo that we've recently. Hold on. Achoo!
I think I'd have to choose the always wanting to sneeze but never actually doing it.
Man, you and I are thinking too much alike today, my friend. Because I was thinking the
Yeah.
exact same thing that you explained before I added the add-ons.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're in the minority. Apparently, 60% of people would prefer the inconvenience of having to sneeze every 3 minutes than the
Well,
obvious thing that you could get used to in life.
well, seeing as we're minorities, we're automatically oppressed, and I think we deserve reparations.
Yay, reparations! I'll take those in the comment section, folks. Ooh, here's a toughie. Choose teach history or teach math.
Um, I'm better at maths than history, so I'd teach that, I suppose.
Mm, See, I would have to teach history because math is always changing and history is too, but it's more updating than changing. So I would probably be easier with. I okay, I'll be honest. I would have trouble keeping up with either, but I would probably have an easier time keeping up with history than math. So I'm gonna have to go with
I
that one on this one.
I would also think that teaching maths, because I'm not American, I'm going to put the S at the end. Uh, Teaching maths would be more involved. Like anyone can learn history just by reading it themselves. Whereas with maths, you would benefit from having someone able to demonstrate how to do it. Like it's not just memorize this, it's understand how this works so you can replicate it every time you need to, rather than like, what year did Columbus discover America? The answer is the same, no matter what. It's just memorizing facts, whereas maths would be learning procedures and how to apply them. So I think teaching maths would also be more interesting because it's not just reciting information.
Well, I'm sticking with my answer. So let's see
Fair
what
enough.
we got. Oh, and I got the majority this time.
Yeah, a lot of people hate maths. I think they were just not taught it properly. But no, a lot of people absolutely despise anything to do with maths, and I think they just voted history because it wasn't that.
Well, to be fair, math is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true.
All right. I think we got time for a couple more.
Sure.
All right, let's see. Ooh, here's a good one. Choose get stung by 20 bees in random locations, or have each shin kicked hard 10 times.
Hmm. I think I'd rather the shin just because at least then I would know what part of my body was going to be in pain. Like the bee could sting me in the eye or something, and that would be far worse than a kick in the shins. So like I think the shins is less of a threat to
Hmm.
me.
I'm gonna have to choose the bee stings on this one because 20 random locations, yeah, it could end up being, some of them could end up being near the eyes or the face or anything like that, but when I'm gonna get stung like that, I'm gonna feel pain and it's gonna be spread across the body. So the surface area being spread across the surface area, it's gonna lessen it for me a little bit, just a little
Fair
bit,
enough.
because it's gonna be 20 of them in random locations, and bee stings on their own suck. But when I'm in that kind of pain, I'm gonna feel the need to jerk and twitch and stuff with my limbs. If I'm
Hmm.
kicked 10 times in each shin, I'm gonna feel a need to fucking jerk my legs, like kick my legs or walk or something like that,
Hmm.
and it's gonna hurt to do that, making the pain last longer. So I'm gonna stick with the bee stings on this one because they'll subside in the same amount of time, no matter what I do, unless I don't add some sort of relief cream to help with the pain.
Fair enough. No, I prefer the security of knowing that it's my shin rather than like anywhere on my body. There's a lot of places you don't want to be sting. It's like,
Yeah, no, that's fair. A couple places in particular come to mind,
yeah.
but even still, well, looks like you got the smart choice this time around. 58% people agree with you.
Very good.
Yes. And on to the last one for the day. Ooh. Well, I know what your answer is going to be. Go ahead and ask this one, Terry. You get the last question to ask.
All right. So, how would you prefer to die? Would you rather freeze to death or boil to death?
I'm going to have to choose freeze because while it may sound Canadian, it's only because with boiling, I'm not going to be able to fucking choose the pose I'm going to die in, and even if I do, it's going to be boiled over and fucking desecrated. With freezing, there's a 50-50% chance I could die giving someone the middle finger, or I could die falling asleep. And
Yeah.
both are a much better win in my opinion.
Well, I'm going to probably defy your expectations because I'm also going to choose freeze for the simple reason that I think it would be less painful. I think your body just kind of stops working. Like you rather than screaming in agony as you boil to death, your body just kind of can't function anymore and shuts down. And I think that'd be less painful. So I think freezing is my choice there.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right. Your body does slowly shut down from the cold and stop working because your body is freezing and solidifying and thickening your blood in your veins, which causes it to flow slower and stuff like that. Which
Yeah,
is why it's important for people not to fall asleep in the cold. Which, like I said, if I could do, would make the death, as you said, completely painless.
Or flipping someone off would also be just as good.
Well, I mean, like I said, some people can fall asleep in one position and stay that way. Me, it's very rare I can fall asleep in one position and stay that way. But if I'm out in the cold and my body's losing its function, I think I'd have a better chance.
Yeah.
I just
with
know
your
that.
dying breath, you flip the bird, and then that's how you get frozen forever.
Well,
So
yeah,
that's good.
you just find a nice little fucking snow pile, dig yourself in, get all nice and cozy, and then position yourself with one of your hands across your chest and the middle of the finger, and you're fucking set.
I think that's a genius idea. I think everyone should endeavor to freeze to death while flipping someone the bird.
Or one of my other choices is fall asleep on your stomach with a sign posted in front of your head, like into the ground in front of your head, and then you just have your ass sticking in the air and it's like, kiss my ass. I'm dead now. Anyone who didn't like me can kiss my ass.
The decent plan. I think I prefer the finger. But...
No, I was just gonna say I do prefer the finger one because the second does propose a lot of unwanted alternatives.
Yeah.
However, you're dead at that point, so
That reminds me of a very interesting question that a comedian named David Mitchell once asked, and that's if you wake up and a necrophiliac is just going at it with you, who is more disappointed or upset, you or him?
Honestly, I would imagine it'd be the necrophiliac.
Yeah, I mean, David's answer was, I'd like to think me, but that might just be vanity.
Yeah, right? I mean, put yourself in their shoes. They're like, oh yeah, finally. You don't know how long I've wanted to do this. Do you know how often a dead body presents itself that's not required to dig up?
Yeah,
That doesn't have any mealworms in it?
And then it turns out that you're not even dead, and it just ruins his entire day.
And it's like, well, that explains why it was so warm. All right. So let's see how many people disagree with us. Oh, only 13% of people are dumb. 87% of people agree that freezing to death would be the better of two choices.
Yeah, well, it is, as far as I can see.
Well, you're not wrong. And with that, we'll have to tally up the scores.
We have a tie. No BS, we have a tie.
All in all, this has been a pretty productive and good first step in first attempt, in my opinion. I don't know about you. Probably been more fun listening to me struggle, but as long as you had fun, in my opinion, eh?
It's all been fun.
There we
Both
go.
the technical difficulties, your inability to words, and the game itself has all been fun. So I had a good time.
Well, I mean, I did have work earlier today, and I've been trying to get unsober, but you answered faster than I expected, so here we are. But folks, this is going to be it for today. As I mentioned before, be sure to check out the description down below. There's plenty of relative links if you want to see any of my other shit or whatnot. There's links to my DLive and Twitch down there. Also links to the Twitters for both Terry and myself. Be sure to follow us there. Terry for sure is an awesome person. He's a great person. Fuck, if it wasn't for Terry, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Let's just put it that way. I mean, Terry helped me out a lot, whether he knows it or not.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Not as much as I do, my friend. And if you want to see me in a different capacity, also down in the description is a link to the Minions of the Zoo YouTube channel as well as their Discord. I am a sometimes backup keeper as well as the Sunday night keeper They do a show every night of the week, Monday through Sunday, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, on the Mini to the Zoo YouTube channel. Link in the description, as I mentioned. But until then, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day, night, morning, whatever, wherever. You don't get a choice, just do it. And until next time, take it easy, fuckers.
Bye, everyone.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?